Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing good. So today in this video we will discuss about final keyword in Java. So final keyword is used to restrict the user. So we are using final keyword like we are using final keyword to restrict the user. We can use final keyword as in many contexts, like we can make a final variable, we can make a final method, we can make a final class. And there is one more thing, like we can there is one more thing about final variable. A final variable that have no value, it's called final blank variable. So first talk about Java final variable. So if you make any variable as final, you cannot change the value of final variable. It will be constant. So let me just give you an example. Like I have a class high, and inside this class I am making a variable final int speed limit. You can say speed limit, and I'm getting enter this 90, and just made one more method, run method. Inside this method I am just trying to change this speed limit value. Speed limit is equal to, you can say, 400. Okay, you can see it is giving me error. What it says, like find remove final modifier of speed limit. So it says, it means like whenever you create any variable as final, you can't change that value inside that class. Okay, inside the class or any other class we can't change that value. It is giving us error. This is basically giving a compile time error, because compiler knows this about this error. That's why it is giving us a error at a compile time. So like first point, we can't change the value of any final variable. It will give us an error. If let's see, if I'm just remove this value, you can see we can change that speed limit value. But when I just put that, make that variable final, I can't change that value. So this is about final variable. Let's see about final method. So I'm just creating this method as a final. Okay, and just remove these things from here and just trying to print something. Start running. Okay, and I'm just making one more class here, like class does. Okay, and class does extends our high class, extends our high class. And inside this class I'm just trying to make one more method which name is run. And inside this I'm just trying to change that run method value, like changing. Okay, you see this is giving error, like removes final modifier high dot run. It says like I have a class inside I have a high class. Inside that I have a run method which is final, so we can't override that method in you we can't override that method which is final in any other classes. That's why it is giving an error. So if you make any method as final, we can't change their like their definition or their declaration in any other classes. Like we can't override that method in any other classes. Okay, so it's all about final method. So first thing, when we create a final variable, we can't change final variable value inside that class or in any other classes. And whenever we have final method, we can't override that final method. Okay, let's see about final class. So I am making this class as a final, and let's see. You can see this is giving an error, like remove final modifier of high. So it means like whenever you create any class as a final, in that case you can't extend that class in any other classes. Okay, so if you have any requirement like this, like you don't want to just extend any class in any other classes, in that case you can make that class as a final, so that no one can extend that class in any other classes. So point, remember, when you make a variable a final, we can't change that variable value. If you create a method final, we can't override that method. And if we make any class as a final, we can't change we can't extend that class in any other classes. Okay, so this is all about final. So there are some questions related to final. Is final method inherited? So the answer is yes, we can inherit, but you can override it, but you can't override it. Okay, so let me just comment this part to show what I'm trying to say. Like I have a class high, okay, inside that class I have a method for final word run. And let me just remove this from here so that I can extend that high class inside my main class. And I am making object of my high class obj is equal to new high. Okay, and using this object I'm just trying to call my final method, like obj dot run. Sorry, let's save this and run this. You can see I'm getting running here. So I think you guys are clear now. Is final method inherited? Yes, we can. Final method is inherited, but you can't override it. So, but there is one more thing, like if we want to just inherit any final method, the first thing we need to check, like that class should not be a final class, because if that class is final class, in that case we can't extend that class in any other classes. And second thing, we should remember, like we can inherit that class now, but we can't override that method. Okay, that final method. So, and second question is, what is blank or uninitialized final variable? Like whenever we create sometime we create a variable as a final, and we don't give any value to that variable. That variable is called uninitialized or blank final variable. So I can give you an example, like I have a student class, a student have ID, student have name, but every student have unique like Aadhaar card number. So we can make that variable as a final variable. Okay, so next question is, and I can just initialize that final like Aadhaar card number in whenever I'm just entering that data. Okay, so I'm not declaring that value at my inside that class. Okay, I'm just trying to, whenever I'm just putting that value for each and every student, at that time I'm entering my Aadhaar card credential, Aadhaar card value inside that variable. So that's all for uh, you can say blank final variable. So can we initialize blank final variable? Yes, we can initialize blank final variable. Let me show you how. Like I have a class speed limit 90. Okay, I'm just removing this. I'm just creating my variable. I am not initializing any value to this variable, and I am just creating a constructor here, void high, and just putting this value. You can say I'm just putting this value. I'm speed limit 30, and I'm just provide high speed limit is equal to 30, and I'm just trying to print speed limit here. Okay, can say remove the final variable. There's my high class, so it is returning something. Okay, this is my constructor. We don't need to use return type here. That's why I removed void here. You can see, and we don't need to call that method, because whenever we make a object, constructor will already get called at that time. So let's save this and run this. You can see I'm getting 30. So the question is, like, can we initialize blank final variable? Yes, we can initialize blank final variable, but only in constructor. You can see I have a high class, and I have made a constructor here. I'm just creating my a final variable which named speed limit, and I haven't initialized value to that variable, and I am initialize that variable value inside my constructor. So we can initialize final variable value inside constructor only. So that's all for final variable, also like final keyword. So try to do some more example related to this, so that you will get more clarity about this. If you have any issues, please do comment. I'm here to help you. So that's all for this video. Thank you.